Hey, it's Andreas, and let's talk about how you can get rich from diabetes and obesity. This trend is only gaining momentum, guys. It's getting more and more expensive for society. We see child obesity, we see obesity in adults, and we see type 2 diabetes needing more and more medication. And that is why a lot of sources are projecting the cost of obesity and diabetes to only increase for society. And in this video, I will present an investment opportunity of a company that's the main player in obesity and diabetes prevention. We will look at revenue, we will look at the amount of shares outstanding, really important, and we will also take a look at historical valuation to see what's going on there. And I really hope that you enjoy me presenting this company, this investment opportunity that is riding on one of society's megatrends. All right, let's start by talking a bit about this megatrend. Remember back in the Obama days where Michelle Obama promised that she was going to fight child obesity? Well, look where that went. Nowhere. Let's take a look at my own home field, the European Union, because obesity and diabetes is on the increase here as well. Every time a piece of legislation is introduced in Brussels to combat the amount of sugar in food and drinks and put pressure on big agriculture, all the lobbyists of this giant industry descend upon Brussels, spend their money, do presentations for politicians, tell them that they will cut funding to their campaigns if they let legislation pass. And whoops, legislation is gone, going nowhere. So I don't think that there's any risk from the political side of the whole, if we analyze the trend and picture, that the political side will slow down diabetes and obesity in society anytime soon. But let's take a look at society itself. Is there any way that we will revert and change on our own to fight this epidemic? I don't think so. We see body positivity movement and fat acceptance rather than pointing out the unhealthy and the costly aspect of diabetes and obesity and how expensive it is for society. So this trend will only continue. Now, let me introduce to you guys Novo Nordisk. Now, this is a Danish company. It's a large cap medical company. And they're not only listed in the Denmark Stock Exchange, they're also listed in the US, guys. I know that the largest part of my audience is from the US, so you guys can invest in this in your home field as well if you want to. But Novo Nordisk is the biggest player in obesity prevention and diabetes prevention. And in this PowerPoint slide, I've listed some information, some of their more famous drugs, some of their other areas, so you can pause and read if you want to. But let's move on to revenue. And as you can see, revenue has grown over the years at quite a decent pace, actually. And based on the trend, it's only projected to continue to increase. And, you know, a large cap company, it's growing nicely. Shouldn't it be expensive? Well, we'll see that in the valuation slide. But first, let's take a look at shares outstanding because that is really important too. And they've had a trend of buying back shares, and they've recently announced a new buyback as well. As you can see, there was a spike here in the latest quarter as they finalized a acquisition, and they had to use it in all cash, so they issued some new shares, and this diluted current shareholders. However, historically, they've been buying back shares, and this is important to see. I like to see this from management as it makes the part of the company that shareholders own more and more valuable over time. You get a larger part of the cake, so to say. All right, so let's take a look at valuation. And I've chosen the price to earnings metrics here since this company is indeed profitable and they continue to be profitable. So it's quite easily to compare over time. And a higher price to earnings ratio means that it's more expensive. And I think the market is pricing in growth into this company and they believe they will continue to deliver more revenue and more earnings. And this has increased share price by quite a lot, but it also creates a larger downside in case they miss earnings and revenues and disappoint the market. So here the historical price to earnings ratio data, we can see that it's quite expensive right now compared to the actual earnings if you want to buy a piece of this company. Now, maybe the market is pricing in this extreme growth that we see in obesity and diabetes, and they think that Novo Nordisk is poised to benefit from this. But that could be the market's opinion. You guys are part of the market, so what do you think? And if you enjoy this investment opportunity, consider subscribing. I will present some other interesting opportunities as I find and relate them to megatrends. Maybe you find something new and interesting that you would decide to invest in after doing some research on your own. Anyways, that's been it for this video, and as always, I hope you make a ton of money from whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.